So the Democrats continue to decide that, hey, you know what? We don't care about lives. What we are going to do here is we're going to do politics over lives, right? And so we all know about the pandemic that we've been dealing with for quite some time. A lot of us are getting strained. A lot of us are starting to go, a little stir crazy, spending this much time with our family in a closed, confined space, not really able to go out and do a whole lot. I mean, it would be one thing if it was like a summer vacation where you could go out and go to an amusement park or just go to the regular parks. But, we've been told that that's all too dangerous and that the virus can go ahead and live on surfaces for quite some time. And so it's like, pretty much you're stuck inside of your home. Now, we have found that there are medications or a combination of medications that are effective in treating this virus. I'm trying to avoid the YouTube censorship in order to bring the death rates down to pretty much about zero when you use these combination of medicines. But the Democrats, they can't have that. They can't have the idea that Trump and his administration, his task force are on top and reviewing scientific studies and, are promoting the fact that drugs that have been basically been used for decades for malaria and arthritis are effective in treating coronavirus. I just said it, so chances are you won't be able to see this video. The YouTube algorithm is going to ban it. But, we have seen that has been effective. So what do the Democrats do? Well, of course, Nevada governor bans malaria drugs for coronavirus patients. Yes, because Trump had gone out and stated, hey, we found something that appears to be very effective. This is what the scientists and the experts are telling us. Of course, we're always told to listen to the scientists and the experts, unless the scientists and the experts are saying something that combats a pandemic and, Trump gets wind of it first, and therefore we must not allow Trump to appear to get a win. So we're going to ban coronavirus treatment for people. Because Orange Man bad? I mean, this is one of those amazing things. How do you go off and how do the people of those states, justify electing Democrats when they see, hey, if my loved one gets infected, ends up in the hospital on their deathbed, and there's this life-saving treatment, and my governor is banning that treatment just to spite President Trump out of politics. How would you justify voting and re-electing that person? But of course, when Andrew Cuomo, the governor of New York, comes out and says he's ordering a lot of these medications in order to use for the people in New York, well, now the media is like, well, that's a great idea. It was horrible when Trump suggested it, but now that you suggested the same thing that Trump did, we're going to give you credit and now we're going to praise it. I mean, this is complete media malfeasance in all of this. Right? It is completely, and the Orange Man bad syndrome, the Trump derangement syndrome, level 6, continues to get worse. So here it is. The New York Health Commissioner tells people not to follow the White House coronavirus guidance. And what the guidance is that if you have been to New York, because it has become the epicenter where it has the most cases of any state and it is spreading like wildfire, that you should self-quarantine, to avoid spreading the infection to other people. And the health commissioner of New York, out of pure spite and political motivation, is now telling people to ignore the health advice that you are getting from the so-called experts that the Democrats are always telling us to listen to. So it's like, well, listen to the experts. Listen to the professionals. Oh, the professionals are agreeing with Trump? Okay, ignore the professionals. Ignore the experts. I mean, this is one of those situations where I guess whoever's considered a professional or an expert in the field is not based off of their past accomplishments or their achievements in their field or how right and accurate that they are. It's about who they line up with politically or who their findings support politically in a situation. They're playing politics with people's lives here, and they just don't give a damn. Now, we can debate about how dangerous this virus is, and we can take a look at the modelings and how the modelings are not accurate. I've done a video on that. We could talk about the speculation about the data that we do and don't have, but this is one of those cases where they keep telling us to listen to the experts. The experts talk, and then they tell us to ignore the experts because they don't like what the experts are saying. And of course they say science, for the Democrats. The Democrats go off and think any little opinion that they have is a scientific fact, right? Even though it's not backed up by any real science, it's basically mostly based off of speculation and guessing, or just because they have an opinion and they just want to push that opinion, so they falsely claim that there is some science to back up their dumb butt opinions. And now they say, listen to the experts. The experts say, hey, we got great medication here that we have found that's been on the market for decades and can bring the death rate down to just about near zero. Oh, this was found by the task force set up by Trump in coordination with other experts around the world. We're going to withhold life-saving treatment. Guess what? Your life is just not as important as the Democrats' need for political power and their need to be able to spin a political narrative in order to gain that power. It is incredibly sickening how the Democrats act.